when you're taking a scale back, when you're taking a step back, right? We look at businesses, and even just as a beauty professional, it's like, get the bigger space, get the team, get this, get that, do more, be more. And it's like, when is it enough? That's the real question. And the answer is that it's so individual and personalized, right? What success and what money and abundance and wealth may mean to you may be a totally different meaning to me. And I feel like success and, wealth is such an individual feeling and such an individual meaning of it. It has taken a big toll on me, to be honest. Just even creating this episode. I've been trying to record this episode for the past year. It has been really hard because we'll talk about also how much we put our worth into our work, the importance of letting that go. The real hard lesson for me that I had to take in my own business and life, to be okay to be looked as a failure in other people's eyes, so that I could succeed and really have that abundance and peace in my life. And also the unexpected miracles and things that happen when I just follow my intuition, follow my gut, and went against what everybody else is doing. And the importance of following your own intuition in your business. Or, if you pray and ask for guidance and listening to that guidance. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What it really felt like and what's happened after. So I got to a point in my business where, I'm like, everybody's like, I want makeup. So I got, amazing ladies to come, be of service and, service the girls, to also offer makeup. I was doing all the back work and everything. They just show up, do the service, get paid, and go home. And, then it started getting to the point where they, it was time to scale it. It was time to grow it and, do more and be more and have more availability and run it, or take a step back. And intuitively, I felt like I needed to take a scale back. But I was like, what the heck? Why am I going to take a scale back? And I remember I had I had a $12,000 month. And I kept having consistent, over $10,000 months. And I was just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this, right? But also I was like, dude, but it's so much responsibility. And in my heart, because where I'm at in my life, I think it's so easy to see somebody, right? I've been doing this since 2016, okay? So I got short videos. I got started with that back in 2016. And it's so easy for people to see and be like, oh my gosh, it's so easy for her. It was not. I literally have talked about this. Every time I share my story, I like to share different components of it, because sometimes we think people everything comes so easy to them. And, so of course, they're being successful. Excuse my dog and my back. My back is kicking my booty today. And the reality is, nobody sees the sacrifices, right? The toll on your body. Or I miss my kid's first words. Or how, my kid had a dental emergency and I was literally going out of town for a event, for a show, for a Cosmoprof show. And I had to suck it up, and nobody knew about that. And, so many different things I've gone through in my life and my career. And I've pushed through it. But I got to a point for me where I was like, okay, I want to be of service to others, but also be in service of myself. And I can have the abundance of having a business, but also having abundance time and quality of life and family time for my family too. So I decided to take a step back. And I knew I may look like a failure. It may not be good. I knew there would be consequences for that, but I was willing to just take the risk and say, F it. And if I failed, oh well, I'm doing what feels right to me. And so I wanted to share with you what happens in the business sense, and what happens in the other sense. What has the hardest lessons and the amazing, beautiful things on the other side of it. The hardest lessons for me, it's but I'm not going to go into detail to everything, but one of them was being okay that I cannot do everything for everybody. So I was so used to oh yeah, I want makeup and hair, boom, done, all taken care of. And I could no longer do that. So I have to start referring other people and, learning all those lessons with that. And I had to be okay with saying no. So I've had to say more no's right now when I scaled back than I ever have before. And I had to be okay with it and not take it personal. And also realizing people have needs, right? And some people want hair and makeup, and that's okay, but I'm not for them. And being okay not being for everybody and not being able to fulfill everybody's needs, right? So I think that was such a good lesson for me, and it was a hard one, okay? Another hard one for me, I think, was also seeing the fluctuation in my numbers. Yes, I'm able to keep more income now, which is amazing, and I make more money now than I did when I had teams. It just depends on your payout for me. Like, you know, they're independent contractors, so of course, you know, they're not my employees, and, you know, that's totally cool. But I also had to like come with the fluctuation of that too, of being able to make more money, if that makes any sense, without having the bigger book of business, if that makes sense. So I don't have to do as much to make more money. And that for me, like, it was an adjustment thing, and I think it was a mindset thing, right? Because we get so sold, like, you have to do more and more to make more. And also, I don't have to like overcharge, I believe. Like, you know, I'm sorry if this may trigger some people, but I'm being honest, I don't have to overcharge to get to that point either. I'm being fair with what I'm charging, and also because of what I charge, I'm able to give back to my community. I do a lot of nonprofit work. I don't really talk about it. Sometimes I'll show a little bit here and there in my stories, but there's a lot of different things that I do around my community that has nothing to do with monetary things that I provide. Yes, I also, you know, do monetary things for my community, but also do things just out of nonprofit work because I really love it and I really believe in it. You know, like one of them is like Project Grad, you know, like it's, I'm in my final year. This is my final full-time year with them. And I've learned so much through them, and they're an amazing group of freaking like ladies that run this, like seriously. It's this really tiny community. It's like under 8 of us in there. And, you know, we meet every month, once a month, and just all the work that takes to make it happen. And it's just been a beautiful experience for me to learn, to ask for help, because you can't do it all. No freaking way. It takes so many volunteers and trusting people and trusting the process and knowing that things are going to work out. And it has been such a beautiful lesson for me. But that's what I've been able to do in my business by being more anti-capitalist and not just focus on me. How can this benefit me? Was also scaling back, right? Like knowing I don't want to scale up. Like I am 40 years old. I have 3 kids. One's an adult now. I have other things in my life that I want to focus on. I'm learning how to garden. This summer, I'm going to learn how to like do cold press oil from lavender. So like I'm learning so many different things in my life right now. Like I'm in like a slow season. I have worked my ass off since I was 15 years old. I've had a job. Actually, if you counted, like I was doing part-time jobs, you know, when I was like, 11, like I just had to learn how to, I think it's such a beautiful thing. My grandpa taught us that, you have to learn the value of $1, and also like being a woman in power and being okay that, one day I could be in an office. And I'm so grateful to him because he taught me, he was the only male in my life growing up that taught me that I was of value, and he taught me that I was loved, and he taught me that I could be somebody more than I ever even expected for myself or thought for myself. So I love him so much. So Tom, Grandpa Tom, you listening from up there, I love you. Fucking love you so much. I miss you. But yeah, so scaling back, I had to be okay with being like a loser, or like I failed, or something didn't work out, or people having like their own misconceptions or things about shit. Like I don't care. Like I had to be okay with that. Now let's talk about like the hard part of like the in-between. So when you're in the in-between area, it's like, okay, so I had a team, I had all these things structured, and now I'm going back to myself. I'm like, shit, like how am I going to do this? And I felt lost for a second because I was like, how am I going to do this now? Like, I'm like, okay, so I have 2 accounts. I literally have one for my bridal, one for my education. And I started mixing them, intermingling them both. And that has, that worked out in its own way. And right now I'm doing a switch up again. And like, I just always go intuitive. I do shit that's like nobody else is doing at the time, which I think is always really funny. And then I move on to what's next. And I think that's what keeps me small, but also fresh. It's like I stay small because I don't stay consistent with just one thing. That's fucking boring in my brain, okay? Like my brain works very differently. So I'm always intuitive and not being afraid of starting something new and being new at something. Think about my mobile salon. Literally a vintage ass 1960, 64, 68, I always forget, camper. I turned it into a mobile salon. It's licensed in the state of California. And, it was something new. It has been super successful for me. It has been amazing for me. It has opened so many doors, and also like for me, like it has taught me what I'm fucking capable of, and also like the importance of asking for help, right? Because that took help from other contractors. It wasn't just me. So like, that's what I mean. Like, are you willing? Like I feel like if there's a desire in your heart to do something, I truly do believe this in life. It's meant for you to do, and you can do it. The thing is that if you don't take action, I really do feel in my bottom of my heart like it's given to somebody else. The idea gets given to somebody else, and also like things take effort. effort. So let's talk about effort. So then when I, was in the middle awkward transition of scaling back and being like, okay, my numbers don't look as big as they used to, but I'm making more money because I'm keeping more of the income now because it's just me. So that was like a little weird scaling back awkward. Also, like, I'm human, and I was like, fuck, why do people think I suck or something? Because like I scale back and I don't want to scale up. I really didn't want to. And that may sound weird, but I just don't want to. I didn't want to. Yes, I could have hired somebody to do the back end, but my heart, it wasn't there. So I decided to follow my heart and intuition. And the third one was like, okay, now what the hell do I do, right? I'm back to myself. What do I do? And so I went through this period of being okay, slowing down. And I think it was a beautiful time too, because my son literally is graduating next month from high school, and there's a lot of big transitions right now in my life. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So I think it was just such a beautiful time to just like slow down. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be awkward. You're going to feel like you're broken. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll feel thriving. I don't know. But that was just my process. Okay. I was grieving my old self and welcoming this new version of myself. I believe in life, you can have so many amazing opportunities, but you need to have room for it. Okay. So I want you to think of a cup of water. If the cup of water is full and they're like, oh yeah, do you want some more stuff? It would overflow, right? And with overflow, of course, you give that to other people, right? Like, hey, there's this opportunity. You want to take it? Of course you do that. But also, if you're asking for more blessings and abundance, you have no space in your cup because it's already full. So how are you going to make space or room to make more things happen in your life? So I am a true hardcore believer of leaving room in your life for magic. I do not need to be booked out every single day. I like to live my life, and I love to be there in full service of my clients. So I happen to live some magic in my life, and beautiful little opportunities are dropping in here and there from everywhere at different times. And also sometimes opportunities come and I just decide not to take them because they're just not in alignment, and I'm okay with that. So I think it's so important that we allow ourselves to slow down, and also like right now, just living more mindfully and intentionally. Like I went to like this clean retreat this weekend, and just like even talking to people from all like aspects, different type of businesses, and even like some surgeons, and it was just such a beautiful experience. That at the end of the day, we're all human and we're here for connection, and there's so many things that we can connect with each other about, which is I thought was hilarious. Doesn't matter our background. There's so many things that we have in common as humans, and one of those things is community. So maybe like you're going to go through a step right now where you're going to take a scale back in your business, and you feel like broken, or you feel like grieving, right? Because we're grieving an old part of ourselves. Like when I scaled back, I was like, shit, like I don't have a team anymore. Oh my gosh, like I had to grieve that part, but I also like, I'm not by myself, I still have this hairstylist that still works with me when I do bigger weddings, and she's amazing. So I still have that part of community with her. And I get to refer her out for a whole bunch of things that I can't do or I'm not available for. So that's beautiful. That's what I mean when, like, if you decide to take a scale back, maybe that's a room for you to give those blessings and those overflow opportunities of abundance to somebody else, right? For me, it's always important. Give them to somebody else that's willing to do the work, because when you scale back, it's going to take work too. Like it has taken me a lot of work. I've had to do different things differently. And I think that's one of our strengths that we need to have when we pivot or scaling back, is be willing to change, right? Pivot, change. It's going to be different, and it's okay. There's going to be a weird transition period, but it can lead to magical, beautiful things. For me, it has really led me to be more time to practice my craft, to be with my clients, to learn more skills, to be with myself, to fill more of my cup so I'm even better with my clients. I literally just got into going to a chiropractor, taking better care of my body, of what I'm eating and taking into my body. So it has just been such a beautiful experience even for me to grow and to have time for myself and have time to be different and have time to let go of things that you outgrow. I think as in business, it's so hard to let go of things that we outgrow. And sometimes what may look for success for other people, it might not be for you, or they're in different stages in your life, right? Like when my kids were babies, it was so much more easier. I still got heartbroken that I missed their first steps, and I still am heartbroken that I missed some of their first words, and special moments. But the reality is that, like I also get to be here with them right now in the present, in a new stage of life, right? And this is important to me. So I think like everything's success and everything's so individual. And like if you are happy in your own life as an individual, that will shine and that will also sprinkle into your business. And everything in business is evolution, right? Like if we think about it, I want you to really go back to this. So I was born in the 80s. Okay. So we have that little like spring little phone. You probably didn't know. I had a Nokia phone. Okay. If you know, that thing was indestructible. And we used to have yellow pages. Yellow pages are no longer a thing, and then it was, internet. And, now it's like, then it was Instagram. Now I'm getting clients from TikTok. Now there's, the whole AI, which, I don't use AI. I don't like AI, but that's me. I'm still having clients find me on AI shit. I don't like AI, but they find me, right? And so the evolution of things. But the thing is that we are people doing business with people. So I really feel in business, if you're aligned, you're in alignment with what you're doing and your services, that sprinkles into your clients, into your customer experience, and it sprinkles into opportunities that grow and evolve as you start to grow and evolve. And it has been such a beautiful time for me to scale back and be okay to do it publicly, and like be willing to take the heat with it. I really feel now I'm at 40 years of age, I always have been fucking weird. And there was times in my life where I was broken. So I wasn't always this way. And, and there's still things that, I deal with and I go through in my life. Nothing is perfect in my life, okay? But I'm super happy with my life. I love my imperfect, beautiful life. I love that I get to live. I love that I get to celebrate another birthday. I love that I get to be a mom. I love that I get to impact some other women's lives. And, I just want my peace. And I think sometimes the cost of peace is sacrifices. And for me, one of those sacrifices was taking a step back publicly in my business by scaling, having a team, and, doing hair and makeup, offering hair and makeup services to just hair, and to also like scaling back into really what type of client I want, and who I'm for and who I'm not for. And I've loved that for myself. I love that I'm getting more comfortable with myself, and my business is evolving and growing. And sometimes that may look like public failure, or we may feel like we're failing, but we're not. Remember, like I've said this like so many times, in business, like it's all a lesson. Are you going to take it as a lesson? If I wanted to quit, I would have quit literally like 6 months into my career as a hairstylist. I became a hairstylist literally at 30 years old. I could no longer work in an office, and have grown so much for that. After that, like right now, another opportunity came up for me, and I'm taking a different step, and I'll share it eventually. I'm not going to share it right now because it's so new and I don't know what's going to happen. But, like that's what I mean. Like when you make space for things, life will bring other blessings and abundance for you that can grow with you and evolve with you. And it has been just a beautiful, hard, messy little middle. And I feel like I'm out of it. So that's why I wanted to share with you that if you decide you want to scale back your business, maybe you're going to go back to school, maybe you're going to change your career, it's never too freaking late, okay? I've been in insurance. I've worked out of school. I've been a hairstylist, right? I was a colorist and I became a bridal hairstylist. My story with the 2020 long COVID thing. So, like it's been an evolution, and here we are at 40 years old. And, the reality of things is that I know things are changing for me, and I'm going to be very 100% with this and transparent that I'm okay with the evolution of myself. I'm okay that maybe things may look different in a couple of years, that maybe, like my career may look different, my lifestyle may look different, even just who I am today to who I was 10 years ago. I'm so much more minimalist, and I value more like the food that we intake as a family rather than eating out. Like I value where things come from. I value like not consuming and buying stuff all the time. I value saving money. I value taking care of the environment. I value going on walks, like I value just taking the time to look outside at the trees and the leaves, like moving around with the clouds. Like there's so many different things that I value in life that may be really silly and dumb to some people, but that's important to me. I value, quality, ethical, like brands that care about the environment, and also you can have good, beautiful hair. And I think that this weekend was such an example that clean beauty can be clean, and the product is so much more different than the usual aerosols and the other things that other chemicals that hairsprays and other beauty hair products have. But you can still have gorgeous hair no matter what your hair texture is. And I think that was the real value and mission and message I wanted to share with everybody that got to partake, you know, with this weekend. And, you know, I just wanted to share on here that if you're going through a transition, it's okay to scale your business back. It's okay to make changes in your business that no longer are fit with your lifestyle, and that be willing to be open for new business opportunities, for new life opportunities and abundance in your life. I hope this episode helped one of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you back here next week. Bye, love.